Today we're going to be taking our first dive into the realm of the Maelstrom of War missions. We rolled up the second mission, which is Contact Lost, and we're playing 2,000 points of Tyranids versus Space Marines. For our objectives, we have the number 3 here, number 4 there, number 6 there, number 5 right there, and number 1 is down here in the crater. For our armies, we have 2 5-man squads in Razorbacks with las cannons and twin plasma guns. They have flamers. We have a whirlwind, a stalker, 3 centurions with las cannons and missile launchers, 2 storm talons with sky hammers and assault cannons. And then what do we got for the rhinos?
3 tactical squads.
All right. And they're
2 plasma, 1 melta.
Okay. And then the black rhino is stern guard, yes?
Yep.
And they're led by Pedro Cantor today. So that's the Space Marines. And then the Tyranids, we've got Winged Hive Tyrant, and his warlord trait is move through cover ruins and stealth ruins. His twin link devourers and wings, and he rolled, obviously he comes with Dominion, and then he rolled Paroxysm and Psychic Scream. We have a Tervagon with cluster spines. She also rolled Psychic Scream. We have 3 individual Carnifexes with dual scything talons, adrenal glands, and cluster spines. We have a Harrispex with adrenal glands, 2 Hive Crones with cluster spines, 20 Hormagaunts, 20 Hormagaunts, 20 Hormagaunts, and 19 Hormagaunts. Then we have 2 Zoanthropes. They have Warp Blast, Paroxysm, and Dominion. And then we've got 2 Venom Thropes. So those are the armies, and we're getting ready to start deployment. We will be back once the armies are on the table. Alright, setup is complete. The Space Marines won the roll and setup first. Tactical squads up front with a stalker behind them there. Centurions in the top of the building, whirlwind behind it, and then the 2 Razorback squads down here, along with the 3rd Rhino squad, and then the Stern Guard are hiding there inside the building. Tyranids have 2 Hormagaunt squads on this flank, Tervagon right here, Crones, Tyrant, Carnifexes, and Harrispex, and the Venom Thropes in the building, so we've got all kinds of goodness boxed up in there. We've got 2 Zoanthropes, 1 brood of Hormagaunts back here, and 1 brood along the front. Space Marines have the first turn unless I can seize the initiative, and I do not. So Space Marines will be going first, and we'll be back at the bottom of at the end of top of turn. All right, we are back at the bottom of Space Marine 1. They drew the tactical objective to hold this objective, so they obviously got that and scored a point there. I went ahead and generated mine and generated declare challenge. So far the objectives are not feeling very tactical as they say they are, but we're going to play the game out and see how they work out in the end once we've had chances to draw from them for a full game. So as far as damage, the Space Marines moved up here, dropped out both tactical squads. Between them and the whirlwind, they cleared out this little center pocket of gaunts, put about 10 instant death wounds on the Zoanthropes, but they survived all of it, so they're good to go. And we'll be back after Tyranids take their turn 1. Alright, turn 1 has just drawn to a close. Tyranids flew up here, generated 11 power dice, tried to paroxysm them on 5 dice, rolled 1 4, and then they threw all their dispel dice at that and countered it. These guys used 2 more dice to try to put paroxysm on these guys, didn't roll a 4+, so no paroxysm there. And then they warp blasted here, scattered off really badly, and got 2 Marines. So Psychic phase was kind of disappointing, but everything got good run moves. The Carnifexes actually outran the Hormagaunts in a couple of spots. So they're moving up, trying to hold this flank. And then down here, we spawned in max number of children. We got 15 Termagaunts and didn't run out. We rolled a 4, 5, 6. Ran up these Hormagaunts to take that objective, and these Hormagaunts to take that objective, and then moved up the monstrous creatures and split them to try to force the hand on both sides. So it's still too early to tell yet. Right now it's 1-0 in favor of the Space Marines, but we'll be back after turn 2. We'll see when we start generating some more objectives and see how this actually works out. So we'll see you at the bottom of top of turn 2. Alright, Space Marine turn 2 has ended. They moved both flyers on this turn. drew Big Game Hunter and Secure Objective 5, which is the one down there surrounded by gaunts. So they did not score any more victory points this turn. Damage-wise, fired the Stalker here. I jinked, and with the Venom Thropes right there, took no damage. Both flyers fired on him. I jinked with him as well. The 2, he took 1 wound. Oh, and there are dice all over our floor now. Also need to take a crash test, which I forgot, and he is fine. The rest of the Space Marines fired around here, trying to remove the gaunts on this objective, and 1 was able to stick it out. We're going to remeasure it just to make sure before we draw it out, but it looked like that 1 guy was in at the start of the turn. So we're going to measure that one out and see. So right now, going into the bottom of 2, it is still Space Marines 1, Tyranids 0. Turn 2 for the Tyranids has just come to completion. Moved up, spawned some more gaunts. Swamped up on this objective, running, trying to get to some close combats. The first crone flew off the table. Vector struck that lead Storm Talon and did it 1 whole point. And then the Hive Tyrant flew up and destroyed it. He put Paroxysm on these guys this time, knocked 1 ballistic skill off of them. He flew up, snap fired a missile over there and didn't do anything. The Zoanthropes threw Warp Blast here, wrecked this Rhino, and the Carnifexes ran up out of here because they couldn't see them to charge them. And we scored 3 quote-unquote tactical objectives that turn. We were able to get Recon, which is holding, or seeing that all the mysterious objectives have been identified. Supremacy, which is to hold twice as many objectives as the opponent. And Secure Objective, for holding one of these particular objectives. We also threw down Witch Hunter because we had to kill an enemy Psyker, and he has none. So like I said, so far, the tactical objectives are just not feeling like tactical anything. They're feeling like random objectives. But we're going to keep on playing, and we'll let you know once we're done what the final score turns out to be. Right now, Tyranids picked up 3, and we also got First Blood. So that's 4 for the Tyranids and 1 for the Space Marines. Space Marine turn 3 has just concluded. They drew some objectives that they weren't able to get yet, so nothing happened there. The Storm Talon moved over, fired here and killed a few gaunts. These guys fired in here, killed some more, so these Hormor gaunts are starting to dwindle real fast. This guy took 2 wounds, and this lead Carnifex took a wound for some firepower there where all the guys had massed out. So not a lot of damage, but really set up to do some next turn as the Tyranids break cover and try to make this last little bit of a lunge here for the other side. So we will be back after Tyranid turn 3. Tyranid turn 3 has come to a close, and the Space Marines have decided to concede at this point. We drew some more good cards that turn. That turn we were able to draw, what was it, 5 cards?
Yeah.
Secure Objective, yep, there it is. Alright, so what we drew Secure Objective 2, which we couldn't do, that's the one he was holding. Secure Objective 5, which was a different copy than before, so we got that. Secure Objective 3, which we got. Harness the Warp, you have to get off 1 power. If you get off 3, you get D3 points, and I was able to get off 3 powers and roll a 3. And Scour the Skies, which the 2 crones paired up, firing tentaclids, and destroyed the other Storm Talon. So we got that point. With First Blood and Linebreaker, that's 11-1 at that point. So the Space Marines decided to call it. They had some unfortunate results. I mean, the Marines here are going to get charged up, which we knew that was going to happen. These guys got Paroxysm down. These guys got Paroxysm down. The Rhino here got destroyed, and on the leadership check to see what happened to the Stern Guard, they did fail it, and they got stunned. We went ahead and rolled it. We didn't move the model, but this Harrispex made the charge to that Razorback and destroyed it and stunned those guys as well. So, I mean, there was too much damage done. He doesn't have anything intact to do any offensive power back. So at that point, we decided to go ahead and call it. So it'll be 11-1 for the Tyranids. We'll have some post-game thoughts on the tactical objectives, and we'll probably try it another time or two, but initial impression from both of us seems to be it's not very tactical. It's more just random objectives. So we'll be back with that again in the future, at least once or twice. There will be a link in the description to the blog to cover army lists, post-game thoughts, and all of that. So in the meantime, you guys keep playing 40K and let us know if there's anything you want to see or want us to change up. Thanks for watching, guys.